The first day at Crestwood University was nothing like I'd imagined. I had spent the summer before, daydreaming about this moment, walking through those gates, feeling the energy of a new beginning, and picturing myself as part of something bigger. I thought I'd be swept up in a wave of excitement, welcomed by new friends, and instantly feel at home. I stepped onto the quad, my backpack still stiff from the store, my heart pounding with hope and nerves. The campus buzzed with life, students laughing, music drifting from open windows, the scent of fresh-cut grass in the air. I tried to soak it all in, telling myself this was the start of something amazing, but the excitement faded fast. The smiles I'd rehearsed in the mirror that morning felt out of place. My hopeful energy seemed to bounce off an invisible barrier. Friendly nods were met with blank stares. Laughter and conversation formed tight circles I couldn't enter. It was as if everyone else had already found their people, their place, and I was just an extra in the background. I felt invisible, as if I spoke a language no one wanted to hear. My attempts to join in, simple hellos, a smile, a question about classes, were brushed aside or ignored. Orientation was worse. My attempt to join a conversation was ignored, and I became a ghost in a crowded room. The noise and excitement around me only made my isolation feel sharper, like I was watching life happen through a window I couldn't open. I expected academic challenges, not this wall of silence. I'd prepared for tough classes, late-night study sessions, and maybe even a little homesickness, but I hadn't prepared for the loneliness, for the feeling that I didn't belong. The sun was shining, but a shadow fell over my spirit. The beauty of the campus felt distant, unreachable, as if I was walking through someone else's dream. This wasn't the movie moment I dreamed of. There was no instant connection, no magical first day. Instead, reality set in. A cold, hard truth that sometimes new beginnings are lonelier than you expect. It was a cold, lonely beginning. I wandered the campus, searching for a friendly face, a sign that I belonged, but every hallway felt longer, every bench emptier. My grand entrance felt more like sneaking into a party where I wasn't wanted. I hovered at the edge of every group, hoping for a nod, a smile, an invitation in. But for now, I was just a stranger in a sea of strangers, waiting for my real welcome to begin. For weeks I drifted through Crestwood like a ghost, barely noticed by anyone around me. Meals were silent, spent alone in corners, quietly watching others connect and laugh together. Attempts to join clubs or games left me on the outside, my presence barely acknowledged, as if I was invisible. The loneliness was heavy, making me question if I was the problem, or if I just didn't belong here. I was the same Jamal who thrived back home, but here, I was just a shadow, fading into the background. Sometimes, the racism was subtle. Sometimes, it was sharp. In class, a whispered, "Of course he has something to say," silenced me. Empty seats appeared beside me, backpacks blocking my way. Rejection became routine, closed doors at parties, invitations that never came. I started shrinking out, eating alone, avoiding attention. The hopeful freshman was disappearing, replaced by someone smaller, quieter. I tried to make myself invisible to avoid pain, but invisibility hurt just as much. I was being erased, bit by bit. The classroom became a minefield, not a place to learn. Some nights, quitting felt like the only option. The weight of loneliness pressed in from every corner of my small dorm room, shadows stretching long across the walls as I wondered if I truly belonged here. The silence was heavy, broken only by the distant hum of campus life outside my window, a world that felt just out of reach. Withdrawal forms sat on my laptop, tempting me to escape. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, the cursor blinking like a silent dare. Each click could have been freedom from the pressure, the isolation, the feeling of being misunderstood. The thought of leaving whispered promises of relief, but also echoed with the fear of regret. But my mother's voice echoed, "Don't let their ignorance dim your light." Her words, spoken so many times before, wrapped around me like a blanket, reminding me of who I was and where I came from. In my mind, I could see her smile, her unwavering belief in me shining brighter than any doubt. She taught me dignity, quiet strength, patience, kindness in the face of cruelty. I remembered the late-night talks at our kitchen table, her gentle hands folded over mine, teaching me that true power comes from within. She showed me how to stand tall, even when the world tried to make me small. Leaving would let them win. My mother didn't raise a quitter. I realized that every challenge I faced was a test, not just of my intellect, but of my spirit. I couldn't let the doubts of others define my journey. I closed the laptop, packed away the withdrawal papers, and made a silent promise to myself. I chose to stay, not for them, but for me, and for her. Each step I took across campus was a step toward my future, a future built on the foundation of her sacrifices and dreams. I carried her love with me, a constant reminder that I was never truly alone. I wore her lessons like armor, determined to persevere. Her wisdom became my shield, her faith my sword. No matter how hard the days became, I knew I could face them with courage because I carried her strength within me. I focused on my studies, held my head high, and refused to shrink. Surrounded by classmates who sometimes saw only my differences, I chose to let my ambition and resilience speak for me. I learned to take pride in my journey, to celebrate every small victory, and to keep moving forward. My character would be my shield. I realized that integrity, perseverance, and self-respect were the true measures of success. No matter what others thought, I would define myself by my actions and my heart. I would not let their smallness make me small. Instead, I would rise above, letting my mother's love and my own determination guide me through every challenge, every doubt, and every day that lay ahead. Change began with a group project in sociology. I was paired with Liam, Chloe, and Ben, none eager to work with me. The first meeting was tense, but I took the lead, organizing our approach. My ideas shifted the mood. Ben engaged, Chloe put down her phone, Liam listened. For the first time, they saw my contributions, not just my skin. I didn't retreat. I showed them who I was through action. The wall between us cracked, just a little. We became a team, not by choice, but by necessity. It was a small start, but it was real. The reluctant alliance had begun. Our group met often, and slowly, the invisible walls between us began to crumble. At first, we were just classmates, each of us carrying our own assumptions and uncertainties. But as the days passed, something subtle started to shift. The more we gathered around that study table, the more we realized how much we had in common, and how much we could learn from each other. I found myself helping Chloe with her research, guiding her through sources and sharing tips I'd picked up. I showed Liam how to make slides that really popped, and in return, he taught me a few tricks with animation. Ben always had ideas, some wild, some brilliant, and I made sure to listen, encouraging him to share more. These moments, though small, became the glue that held us together. Small acts built trust. Chloe's grateful smile after a tough session, Liam's heartfelt thanks when he finally nailed his presentation, Ben's jokes that lightened the mood when stress ran high. We started to celebrate each other's wins, no matter how minor, and those gestures made all the difference. As we spent more time together, we began to open up. We shared stories about our families, our cultures, and our dreams. We learned about each other beyond stereotypes and surface impressions. I realized that everyone had their own struggles, their own hopes, and their own reasons for being here. I shared my love for Spike Lee films, explaining how his work inspired me to see the world differently. I told them about my dream of making documentaries that could spark real change. To my surprise, they listened, really listened, and asked questions, eager to understand my perspective. For the first time, I felt like they saw me as Jamal, not just the black guy in the group. They respected my ideas, valued my input, and treated me as an equal. That feeling of being truly seen was something I hadn't realized I was missing until I finally had it. One day, out of the blue, Liam pulled me aside. He apologized for shutting the party door in my face weeks earlier. His words weren't rehearsed or dramatic. They were honest, and that honesty meant more to me than any grand gesture ever could. It wasn't grand, but it was honest. In that moment, I knew we were moving past old misunderstandings. We were building something real. Our meetings became about more than the project. They became about us. The awkwardness faded, replaced by respect and genuine friendship. We laughed more, shared more, and supported each other through late nights and looming deadlines. My patience and kindness spoke louder than any prejudice. I realized that every small act of understanding, every moment of empathy, was helping to rewrite the story we were living together. The bridge between us wasn't built overnight. It was built on small, consistent acts, helping with homework, sharing a laugh, listening when someone needed to talk. Each gesture was a brick, each conversation a beam, until we had something strong enough to carry us all. I was no longer invisible. My voice mattered, my story mattered, and I could see the change not just in how they treated me, but in how I saw myself. My character had changed the story. I wasn't just a background player, I was leading, inspiring, and helping to shape our group's journey. We were a team, and I was finally seen. Together, we had built a bridge of understanding, one that would last far beyond any project or classroom. Presentation day was a triumph. We got an A, but the real win was friendship. Invitations followed. Chloe's party, Liam's basketball team, Ben's film festival. The walls had crumbled. I was home. Crestwood taught me that what I wanted wasn't just acceptance but respect. Their apologies weren't just for rudeness but for not seeing me as a person. My perseverance forced them to see beyond labels. Character is a universal language. Kindness, hard work, dignity. In the end, it's not about race or background, but about seeing each other as human. No labels, just humans. That's the lesson I'll carry.